YouTube.
What's going on, guys? We got a pretty special episode tonight, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So, well,
quite a few special things I would say for tonight.
We do. So I'm gonna start off by saying, welcome in, guys, to Race Hail Praise Dale, the place we talk about everything related to the world of NASCAR, mainly the Cup Series, but we also sprinkle a little couple things in. I'm JT Dallas.
I'm Voodoo.
And as your host, we want to say a big welcome in because technically we have been doing this show for a year. So happy birthday to us.
Right? Doesn't feel like it's been a year.
I know it's crazy. It doesn't feel like it should have been already.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a year. Also, kind of jumping ahead a little bit, we also get to look at our 100th scheme, technically our 100th and 101st scheme for the Scheme Scene Spotlight, also known as
Scheme Spotlight, but yeah. Scheme Scene is the Wednesday episode.
Oh man, I always do that. Like Scheme Spotlight, or as we refer to it as S Cubed,
yep.
Which you'll see later on in the episode.
Yep.
I feel like this light is way too bright. Let's bring it down a little bit.
Some other specialness is there's only 27 days until the Daytona 500.
Yes, sir. Getting closer and closer and closer. You want to hear some even better news? That's not when NASCAR officially comes back. We only have about, let's see here. Today's the 20th, so 11 plus. We have 16 days till NASCAR comes back.
Actually, sir, we got less than that.
Well, I counted today.
There's only 13 days until the Clash.
Clash is February 5th, homie.
I went to a counter and pulled it in. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What day did you say it was?
I said 16 because I counted today.
What day is the Clash though? Isn't it
the 5th?
Wednesday?
Pretty sure it's the 5th. I could be wrong.
They're having a Clash on a Wednesday? Weird.
Hang on, let me just double check it. But while I'm double checking that, you want to roll that intro?
Yeah, I could do that while we're looking like confused maniacs.
Nope, you were right. It is the 2nd. So, 13 days.
Yeah, had me confused for a second, man.
I had myself confused. What are you talking about?
13 days till the Clash at Bowman Gray, which we got a couple of interesting entries into the Clash. Haven't really seen open cars get put in there before, and we got a couple.
Sorry, I'm being a dad for a second. But you know what's great about the Clash, don't you? We might get to hear. I love it. Oh, you didn't hear it?
Might get to what?
I said we might get to hear.
You would probably say, short track racing.
I don't know why it didn't work. That's weird.
Play the first time.
It worked on mine. But Bowman Gray is just a quarter-mile track. It's gonna be awesome to watch. Is it 25? Is that how many they're putting on it?
Somewhere around. I think that's what the number was last season.
I believe so.
We'll see more cars than that on track, but for the main event, we'll only see that many.
Yeah. No, these things alone. Yeah, go to bed.
Before we get to talking about that, we got some races.
Speaking of another small race, I didn't even think about. There's your transition. Speaking of another small race.
Yeah, we got some post-race breakdown to do, baby.
Let's throw it down, homie. All right, I'll let you take this one since I kind of took the lead on the beginning.
All right, so if nobody guessed what race we talking about, just a little tiny bitty race that they just started called the Chili Bowl Nationals. You know, maybe heard of it. I don't know, maybe not. Who knows?
Right.
But so it was basically what, a whole week, just about.
It finished Saturday.
I
It
think they
ran
started
from
Monday and finished
yeah,
Saturday.
they did qualifying Monday and stuff. The main like actual races started Wednesday. And then it finished off Saturday. And I'm sure most of Tulsa is ready for it to finish because Tulsa was a busy place this weekend.
Bet it was.
Me and my wife went up. We didn't get to watch the race, unfortunately. Well, we couldn't find any tickets except for like VIP sections, and I'm not made of money. I can't afford $400 a ticket, so.
Oh, come on, you got this.
Yeah, pocket change, you know. But anyway, we were up there. It was pretty busy, especially around like the Civic Center and stuff. But we did have some really good races. I don't know if you've seen the last race. It was pretty good. The
You mean Kyle Larson trying to take himself out of the race a couple times?
and still ended up winning it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then let's see. I have to say my favorite race throughout the whole thing was Bell and Larson in the first A main, I think is when it was, Wednesday. Where it was literally almost a photo finish. It was a great race. There was a lot of good racing. Like it's the racing that you look forward to when you look at dirt track racing. I wish NASCAR would get a hold of it a little more, but unless you bring dirt back, it kind of doesn't work like that.
Well, you heard him mention a couple of guys racing in one of the races. Well, we got basically all of the NASCAR National Series guys that were present, and just got a little snippets of how they did. So to start it out, we got old Mississippi man himself, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Ricky spin out.
Yeah. So he had his heat race. Started off, he started third. He actually won that heat race. Got him into a qualifier in fourth place that he started. Only fell back one spot, so he was able to jump into that A main on Friday. Started kind of far back in 15th. Managed to squeeze it all the way up to 8th. And his B feature on Saturday, which is what he got put into. Started 14th and finished 8th, which was not high enough to get him moved up to the A main on Saturday. It was just, what was it, top 5 from each thing that moved up?
Yeah. So for the qualifiers, the way those work is the first 2 from each qualifier moved on to the A main automatically. Yeah. And then you could race in from like the B mains and C mains and D mains.
F, G, H.
Yeah,
quite a bit of them.
Yeah, they had over 1,000 cars that they had to get through, which is insane. Next year, I'm definitely gonna try to get tickets because I found where to get them for face value, which is $60.
That's not bad.
So I'm definitely gonna try to get tickets next year. So hopefully next year you guys will be seeing like my view of the race in some of them. Because I would have loved to been at the track for a lot of these races. A lot of it like was good racing. That and it's just, if you're like me, you like racing in any kind. I'm pretty sure if you put like 2 squirrels running around a track, I'd find enjoyment in watching them run. It's just me.
That might be pushing a little bit.
You're telling me you wouldn't sit there and watch 2 squirrels run around a track like a miniature horse track? Just
I might be able to watch them for a lap or 2, and then it would kind of get.
I'm not saying they don't need to go 500 miles. I'm just saying, watch them like little heat races.
We're talking about auto racing, sir, not squirrel racing.
Hey,
back on track.
Who knows? We might start our own racing league.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
Anyway, we'll talk about some Kyle Busch. So Rowdy was there, and maybe he needs to take a few more tips from his son because he did okay, but not the best. So during the heat race, he started 7th and worked his way up to 2nd. But the qualifier, he started 6th and went back to 7th. B main on Friday, he started way up in 1st and finished 7th. F feature, he finished 3rd, and E feature, he finished 14th. So I got a feeling he kind of gave up there at the end.
Well, they were only taking certain ones from those features to move them up to the next one.
Yeah. But anyway.
So one of our full-time, or not so full-time Cup guys, Mr. JJ Yaley, made an appearance as well. His heat race, he started in 5th, backward a spot to 6th. His qualifier, he actually improved. He started 9th and he finished up in 4th. His A main on Friday, started 16th, moved up 4 spots to 12th. And then his C feature on Saturday, he started 10th and kind of stayed put. He wasn't able to move up to the B feature. But technically, he got further than Mr. Cowbush.
This is true. We got Brent Cruz.
You gonna skip over Ty Gibbs, huh? Dang.
Well, I guess I'll cover Babyface. Ty Gibbs. That's probably the reason Joe Gibbs actually got to race is because Ty wanted to, and he's like, "But Grandpa, please." And he's like, "Okay, boy, I'll let you race."
Bell's not mad at him.
Anyway. No, I'm not either. I'm glad to see Bell back on track. If you looked at any of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Any of the interviews with Bell, you can tell he is super happy about being back in dirt. I'm sorry. I just happened to see you just chuck a water bottle at somebody.
My kid was asking for a water bottle, so I had to throw it at him. He was all the way across the room. I didn't actually throw it at him. I threw it to him.
I thought he was right there, and he just like...
No, he was all the way on the other side of the room.
I got you. So, anyway, you got Ty Gibbs. He started dead last in his heat race and finished in the top 5 at number 5. B feature, he started 8th and finished 9th. The G feature, there must have not been some good drivers there because he started 1st and finished 1st. And the F feature, he finished 6th. Sorry if you're a Ty Gibbs fan, I am not.
One spot out of the moving on spot there.
Out of the cut, yeah.
Now we can talk about Brent Cruz. Now he's not technically a Cup guy, but does run trucks, right?
Yeah, he's
I don't think he's up in Xfinity yet. So in his heat race, he actually did not finish because he decided to flips. Moving on to his C feature on Friday, he finished 1st. Moved him up as B feature. He also finished that one 1st. Put him into the A main on Monday. Started in why did I say Monday? Started 17th, finished 4th, so he was able to move on there. He got in his B feature on Saturday, which is your main race day. Started 2nd, and then got into an accident in DNF, so he wasn't able to get into that main race there.
Big oof. Moving on to Josh Bilicki. Not a Cup driver, but he's an Xfinity driver, right?
Yeah.
Is he okay? Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that later.
So
that's okay.
Yeah. Heat race, he finished 2nd. The qualifier, he finished 7th. B feature, he finished 11th. H feature on Saturday, he started 1st and finished 1st. But in the G feature, he finished 7th. So he got a win in there, which is really cool, but not a very good run.
On the back end of the features. So.
Yeah.
And then you got this other guy that nobody knows of.
Only the Race of Champions winner.
Christopher Bell. I don't know. Anyways, he started off the shindig out there, not with a heat race, but with the Race of Champions. And started 1st and led every single lap and finished 1st. I don't even think anybody got close enough to challenge him, really.
No, he was gone. Kind of a breakdown of Race of Champions is basically like the All-Star race. where if you've won the Chili Bowl in past years, you can compete in that race. Christopher Bell has won 3 times. He is a 3-time Chili Bowl champion.
And it stays that way. Moving on to the heat race.
Unfortunately.
Started 4th and finished in first. Qualifier started 5th, finished 2nd. His A main on Thursday started 4th and finished 3rd, which got him a spot into the A main on Saturday. But he started towards the back in 12th and was only able to work himself up to 10th place finish.
I know we joke about these drivers kind of being in the back, but like did you watch any of the Chili Bowl? You can watch on YouTube.
I watched a little bit of it once they did go live on YouTube. Yeah,
there was an insane amount of competition, of great drivers that aren't on this list, of course. Like I said, they had 1,000. They had over 1,000 drivers. It was ridiculous. But moving on to our Chili Bowl champion this year, Kyle Larson in the prelim feature, he finished first. And then, of course, the A main on Saturday, he finished first. So he is the
tried taking out a wall and
and then come back for it. And that's one reason I like watching the highlight reels, because they highlight the main events. Flow Racing does, but you don't have to sit there and watch them try to repair that chain link fence and light the gasoline on fire. Did you see when they did that?
I didn't see that part, no.
So they had a car breakdown and gas and oil and everything leaked all over the track, right? So they just lit it on fire to get rid of it.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's what happens when you get a bunch of rednecks from Oklahoma running a racetrack.
Yeah.
But anyway, so congrats to Kyle Larson and to all of our NASCAR guys that were in that race. I hope you had fun. Judging by all of the interviews, it was a lot of fun. Except unless your name's Kyle Busch, which he didn't seem too happy about it. But hey,
Kyle Busch though. What do you expect?
Kyle Busch don't seem too happy about anything anymore since he left.
Since he ran
Joe
out of
Gibbs. ran out of Joe Gibbs's pocket is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Anywho, that's enough of the post-race breakdown. That's all we got for that. That'll move us on to our next segment of the show, which is the trackside trends, baby.
Let's do it.
All right. So first things first, got a new official partner with Suburban Propane. Now the official partner of NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports.
Does this mean we'll have a Suburban restart zone instead of a Geico?
I doubt it.
Also, the CW Sports booth for Xfinity races will be Adam Alexander, Jamie McMurray, and Parker Kligerman.
It'd be a cool little booth there.
Yeah, this is going to sound kind of stupid, but I like Adam Alexander. He's a good booth person. Okay. Same with Jamie McMurray. I don't know about Parker Kligerman. I've never really heard him call a race.
I feel like he's just kind of like the filler in.
I think person. Yeah, I feel like he'd kind of be like the Logano and Suarez
probably
of last year.
Yeah.
So, but pretty cool. And
next up, this is pretty cool stuff right here too. Started on January 29th, so just in 9 days, you're gonna have a free ad-supported TV channel on Tubi. It's gonna include 24/7 content, from documentaries to re-airs of this year's events, classic races.
Oh, my wife is gonna hate me for the next 6 months. Right? You hear that, babe? So NASCAR has put an ad-free thing on Tubi.
No, it's ad-supported, not ad-free.
I'm sorry, an ad-supported free thing on Tubi that'll play like documentaries, past events, and stuff like that.
24/7.
24/7, babe. Oh, I'm ready. I am so ready. I'm still kind of salty about the. Speaking of documentaries, sorry, my ADHD brain. When the Coke 600 got rained out, you know they started that Dale Gordon documentary. I have not finished it, and I'm kind of salty about it because everywhere that I find it, you got to buy it.
Bought it when it was on, homie.
Well, they didn't finish it.
Excuses.
Like it cut short. Yeah, I know. Thanks, NASCAR. You got me interested in something.
They did that on purpose, man.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh, some idiot will buy this, and I've gotten real close to buying it once or twice because I'm like, it was a good documentary.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, homie.
Hey, you're talking to a dude that owns 2 copies of NASCAR '99. I'm just saying.
We do get moving on from that. Got some new information on open cars for the Daytona 500.
We do.
So, first things first, Junior Motorsports dropping a number 40 car with Justin Allgaier.
Out of the schemes that we know that are going to be popping for the 500, this one is my favorite.
We shall see it shortly.
Bro, I'm hyped for this one. I'm going to have to buy the diecast. After Lionel releases it, you know, I'll buy it off eBay. I don't like buying offline.
And the other guy that we know was racing was Mr. Martin Truex Jr. Now it's official.
Yes, sir.
Raghan Garage is going to be fielding that with his number 56. Bass Pro Shops is coming back for that one. Cool.
I'm excited. That's a good scheme too. I like that more than I like Briscoe's.
Oh yeah. I honestly like this one's better than his own that he was running last season.
It's like a throwback to a 78.
Yeah.
It looks really nice. But just a quick reminder for our viewers that weren't here last week. Kenny Wallace's brother, Mark Wallace, was DQ'd basically, or not even DQ'd. He was just told he can't race because he's only raced 5 times since 2015 in a NASCAR sanctioned event. So NASCAR was like, safety wise, maybe not. So MBM might be looking to replace them. I'm sure they are because I'm sure they've already started spending quite a bit of money trying to get this car ready.
We may have a hint on who they're putting in there here in a minute.
True. But just a recap. I wasn't going to go into it, but just a recap.
So most of the team changes I kept into the silly season updates this time around. Instead of separating them, because then we talk about a team and then wait to talk about them again. So I just kind of combined them all. So we'll jump over to All Race Day Horizon to get that stuff started.
I was actually going to sit here and kind of jump in the conversation while I get. Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, where are we at? I'm sorry, I was talking to.
I was on the wrong scene to switch it to. Sick walls and hats brothers wish my wife would let me decorate a room like this. Well, Mr. Welcome to Houston, Texas. Go ahead and divorce her and get a new
my
wife.
wife is not happy about it. She kind of gripes at me for the amount of NASCAR stuff I have.
Oh no! What's your thoughts on
that? Somebody's commenting on stuff. No, you just feed into my addiction and then gripe that it's taking too much room. It's not that you. It's not that you. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, my wife says it annoys the shit out of her too. So
it doesn't annoy me.
Yeah, it doesn't annoy my wife so much. It's just it takes up a lot of room that we don't have. Right now, I'm waiting till we move because then I can set up a lot of my stuff.
Yeah, well, you go ahead and build me a house out here too, so I can have me a room.
Brother, listen, if I'm building a house out there, it's because I'm moving out there. I hate to tell you.
Right, we can make something happen.
Hey, don't hit me with a good time.
Hey, Anyways, let's go ahead and jump
So,
forward
we
to
on-
Race Day Horizon.
Yes, sir.
Why is the post race breakdown? Something broken.
Uh-oh.
Let's fix it real quick.
Well, while he's
Real
fixing that, I can go ahead and jump on some of the silly season news, starting with ARCA.
Fixed.
Cletus McFarland plans on running at Daytona in the number 30 car as Kinetic with his sponsor. Kinetic? It does not look like Kinetic to me. It looked weird.
He is actually a partial owner along with Roman Atwood, if you've ever watched any of his YouTube videos. They're both co-owners of that Kinetic. It's basically an energy drink brand.
I got you.
Yeah, I guess that's terms for keeping her around there.
Yeah, my wife, I was going to take her out for her birthday, and she chose to go to Texas this last year, so I'm definitely keeping mine.
All three of us have been to a race at Texas Motor Speedway. Look at that.
That's true. That is true.
Not
That's
all
where
at
I
the
got
same
to meet
time.
Kyle Petty. It's a lot of fun.
It was many, many years ago, but I got Jimmy Johnson to sign one of my diecast back there.
I got to see Jimmy race for the first time at Texas. That's about the only thing I could say.
Got to watch him race 3 times at Texas. He wrecked out twice of them. Wasn't fun. But
not a bad way. But anyway,
moving on to the trucks. What Freedom Racing used to be not Faction 46. Freedom Racing, completely different team. Ignore me. Freedom Racing. Spencer Boyd's going to be in number 76 with Mike Hillman Jr. as his crew chief. Why am I? Hold on. We're over here talking about him, but I don't even have the stuff up for him.
There you go. We also got Riume Brothers Racing with Tyler Tomasi running Nashville and Bristol in the number 2.
I'm looking forward to seeing him on the track.
For the mic stand that I threw away.
I've seen a couple of videos of him with just
100%.
regular stock cars that he's got. I forget what track it is that he owns. But I've seen a couple of races back there. It's pretty cool. But good to see him in a NASCAR sanctioned vehicle. Hopefully it'll turn into some more opportunities for him.
Yes, sir. I am really excited for this next one. I mean, you go ahead and say it, but I was kind of worried about this when we announced earlier. Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead so I can actually talk about it.
Tricon Garage. We already announced Tony Breidinger is going to be in the number 5. Well, Raising Canes is following her to the Truck Series, and they will be running primary sponsor for. They haven't said what races yet, but I imagine it would be more than one.
Definitely. I was kind of worried about it when she moved up from ARCA, because I mean, let's be honest, Raising Canes is kind of a bigger sponsor. I mean, I wish she could keep Victoria's Secret, because I mean that was a good sponsor as well. But just as a main sponsor, and for you guys that are just tuning in, Tony is kind of one that this podcast follows. As kind of like our main female in motorsports, well, in NASCAR, but she's kind of one that we watch. We kind of picked her out at the beginning of last year when she was running ARCA. So, very cool.
She finished 4th place, ARCA. So, pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. She's a pretty good driver. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ryan Truex is set to be a reserve driver for all of JGR's Cup and Xfinity teams.
Yeah, didn't want to put that into a specific category.
Yeah, no, I get it. If just but if anyone gets hurt or anything, JGR can call him and be like, "Hey, yo, you want to make some money real quick?"
Yeah.
And let's be honest, he probably just retired from driving. He's probably still gonna help, like, be in, like, as far as instructions and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It sounds like he's gonna be part of JGR's arsenal.
I kind of gives me the vibes of when, like, Jeff Gordon retired. You know what I mean? Like he retired from actually driving the car, but he was still.
Well, you remember what
in the
Corey
company.
Haim did, right? He was a reserve driver for Legacy and 2311, but he was also the sim driver. So getting
Yeah.
extra data for the teams and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be like Truex. You know, he was done driving for the whole time, but I think he's definitely still on the payroll.
Old Houston, Texas here says that Tanner Gray is going to be a beast this season. We shall see. Shall see. If I had to pick anybody off of that 5-truck team, sorry, I would probably go with Corey Haim.
Corey Haim, he was a beast last year. I know in the NASCAR weekends, or the weekend winners, I felt like every other week I was putting his name on there for a while.
Yeah.
I think Tricon's a pretty good team as far as trucks. I'd like to see what they could do in like Xfinity or something like that.
Yeah, well, we'll get to see what they do in Cup.
Yeah, very true.
All right, moving on to Xfinity.
Yes, sir. In DGM, Josh Bilicki's running the 91.
So that's a little bit of new news there. So you were asking about it when we were talking about him. He is indeed an Xfinity driver.
Well, that's kind of why I was asking. Like I'd seen this on our notes, like on our notes and stuff, or our news in the disc. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, I seen this. I was like, okay. So I didn't know what to say, you know. But anyway.
Next up, JGR. Not a new announcement as far as William Sowlich being on the 18, but it has a sponsor in Sound Gear. Be a primary sponsor for him for most of Xfinity Series campaign there. There was a paint scheme release. Wasn't a very good angle though. So we don't really include Xfinity schemes on here, but maybe we need to start.
It would be a fun video. I mean, even if we attached kind of like S Cube to our scheme scene, but only for Xfinity.
Maybe so.
Something like that. As far as us reacting to it, I mean, if you wanted to do the schemes videos, that's on, that's kind of on you because you're the one that does all this. I lack the current talent to do all that, so
I don't have much talent either. Houston, Texas is taking Austin Hill for Xfinity.
You taking Hill for Xfinity? That's a pretty solid choice. Man,
I've really got anybody I'd pick to stick out in here.
So Xfinity, I've kind of been following Allgaier, honestly.
Yeah, Harrison Burton that just jumped back down there. I don't know if he's really going to be a contender for anything though.
I don't know on that one. I mean, I kind of look at Harrison as he didn't really do very much in the Cup series. I mean, he won that one race that spun the playoffs up, but
well, I'm not going to mention his name yet. I'll mention it here in a minute, but I got somebody in mind who I want to do well this season.
I've got Sheldon Creed. I'd like to see him do pretty.
You're going to start naming. I want Matt DiBenedetto.
Matty B. Oh, I forgot about him. Yeah, Matty D. Burrito.
Anyways,
I didn't even think about him being in. Sorry.
MBM.
It's silly season. Kicking my butt. Like, there's so much news dropping right before the season. Oh man. But anyways, over at MBM, got old Tyler Tomasi again, running the 66 in Martinsville and Bristol.
Not full time, but they are
part-time driver.
Going to put that car out there. We got a little bit of news for MBM later on too.
Very true.
RSS Racing, old Ryan Sieg in the 39 is not new, but Matt Noyce as crew chief. Noyce.
Hang on a minute. I got it. Hang on.
Tried to cue it up.
Nice.
I tried to cue it up
Sorry.
for you, but you weren't paying attention. They will have SciAps as a sponsor for a good handful of races there.
Heck yeah.
Uh-oh. Mr. Houston, Texas says Sheldon is 27 dresses. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
That's fair. Mr. Two Times, what I called him last season, because it felt like he was getting second all the time. So talking about SS Greenlight, got the 07 ran by a committee that includes Patrick Emmerling, Nick Lietz, and Alex Laby? Lab?
I think it's Alex Labby, but I could be wrong.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm terrible at reading.
Well,
so
if you look closely at the graphic down there, this Viking Motorsports update, old Matty DiBenedetto will no longer be in the 38. They've rebranded to the 99. And they've actually rebranded their logo. If you look down there, a little less chaotic, a little more modern looking.
Looks pretty cool.
Yep.
Is it sad that every time I see like Viking Motorsports, I want to see like something with like runes on it, like you know what I mean, like the Nordic runes or whatever?
Did you see a little thing of the new logo reveal? And I'm like forging a sword, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I just wish like their logo would reflect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like make your logo like it have an axe sticking out of it or something. Like make it cool.
I kind of liked their old one, but I like the modernness of this one.
Like, okay, so like I don't know. I just like I like designing stuff. So like I feel like you can make Viking like the word Viking into like one of the ships or something.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what paint schemes they can come up with.
Yeah. All right. So we also got Young's Motorsports, which they'll be running the 42 with Fast Pasta, aka Anthony Alfredo. They'll be running those. Let's see here. Andrew Abbott is the crew chief, and Dude Wipes will be the main sponsor, of course.
Some of your favorite products.
Yeah. I wish they really did dissolve. For those of you guys that are watching, I work at a wastewater plant, and they are the bane of my existence. They may say flush safe or whatever, but I promise you they are not. So Anyway,
moving on to the Cup Series. So, before we get rolling into this, every single car has a single primary driver and not by committee this season, at least for the chartered teams.
Heck yeah.
That's the first time that's happened in, I think, forever.
Now, if only we could get a certain driver to do at least 30 out of the 36 races, I'd be okay.
Only seems like he's doing 2, so.
I know, I'm kind of upsetty in my spaghetti.
So first things first, as we mentioned before, we got some Clash at Bowman Gray news. Team Amerivet will be running that number 50 there with Burt Myers behind the wheel. So, not something that we usually see, open teams going to the Clash, but kind of cool to see it.
Was this the guy that was like the Bowman Gray champion or whatever? Or am I thinking of another guy?
No, you're thinking of a different guy. That one we already announced a while back.
Well, I knew that. That's why I was like, I feel like we already talked. But okay. Anyway, moving on to Legacy. Of course, we got the GOAT, Jimmy Johnson. He has announced that he will be running the Coke 600 and the Daytona 500. Those are the only two that he has announced he will be running as of right now.
Side note:
Unfortunately.
if he makes it into the 500 and then starts the Coke 600, the Coke 600 will be his 700th Cup Series start. Insane in the membrane.
Definitely.
Also, before we move on, Houston, Texas is
Thoughts
asking.
on Ty Gibbs?
Yeah,
Man, I'm not a Ty Gibbs fan. I feel like he's a silver spoon kid. I mean, does he have talent? Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of drivers in Xfinity that have more talent than him. I think the only reason he got to Cup the way he did is because Grandpa owns the team.
now he's a
Which
partial.
again,
Was it truck or Xfinity owner?
he's technically an Xfinity owner. He owns
That's
the 54.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm just not a big Gibbs fan. Like I said, I just, man, I don't know how to describe it. I just don't think the way he come to Cup was earned. I think it was more bought, like I said, because Grandpa owned the team. I also don't think that. I mean, it's kind of like the Dale Senior, Dale Junior, Bill Elliott, Chase Elliott thing. Like when you got somebody that was like great at the sport or even great for the sport, you kind of can't help but think that, whoever this person is that's connected to him is just riding off those coattails. Now, do I think that Dale Jr. has kind of made a name for himself away from driving and in NASCAR? Yes. But at the same time, I think his dad still had a lot to do with that. Chase Elliott, I feel like, has more of his own style versus, Bill Elliott, because, I mean, it's not as connected, in my opinion. Are you okay over there?
I'm not a fan of Chase Elliott.
I didn't say I was a fan. If I had to pick a Hendrick driver right now, it'd either be Willie B or Kyle Larson.
It'd have to
It's
be
not.
Larson. None of the other guys are even close.
I mean, the only reason I'd say Willie B is because he's just different. But yeah. So Ty
Anywho,
Gibbs.
yeah. Enough said about him. Moving on to MBM. They're actually rebranding their Cup Series team. It's going to be known as Garage 66. And like I mentioned, it's just for the Cup Series only. They will also be having an entry at the Clash, which will be the number 66 still, obviously. But it'll be Garrett Smithley that'll be driving that car for him at the Clash. They have not announced the replacement driver for the Daytona 500 yet, but I'm sure it is coming along. I would think Ty Gibbs hasn't exactly been. Well, can't really say that. If I look back at the stats on paper, I would say he's not had a terrible year. There's obviously been people that have had worse seasons, but I don't think he's going to be one that you have to worry about getting into the playoffs every season. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
He's definitely no Chris Bell.
Yeah, well, nobody likes Chris Bell, so.
All right. Sorry, guys. We talking about some RFK now?
Yep.
So Ryan Preece is running the number 60 with Derek Finley as crew chief.
Yep. And then official, Cody Ware's in the 51 of that Rick Rare racing machine. Wonder how he got that seat. He's gonna have Billy Plord as his crew chief. Forward to that.
Yes,
What we got
sir.
for them Cup Series.
All right. We do have some schemes to look at tonight.
Do we do? Ready to look at them?
Let's go. Yeah, no joke. Larson, I'm pretty sure you could put him in a wheelbarrow with a flat tire and he would win something.
Yeah.
I love this scheme. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like
I think this is going to be like his primary scheme.
I love it. Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but I love it.
Would you?
The only thing that I would say would make it like just top tier is if it had like an orange line anywhere on the car, like as far as like down the bottom or like right under the window or something. Just one single, like, just to kind of break up the camo. But I like it.
What you giving it? I know it's not Wednesdays, but
We'll give it a 4 lug.
I'm down with that. I'll keep it at a 4. Just like you said,
I
there's
don't want to
stuff.
quite give it a 5.
Yeah, because
Like, I wish. Okay, so now that I'm looking at the yellow line that's behind the Bass Pro Shop, if they would have followed that all the way up and thickened it up a little bit, it would have been a 5. But also, Texas, we on Wednesdays during the season we do a show called Scheme Scene. Well, we record on Wednesdays again, where we rate every scheme for that race.
Yep. But anyway, moving on to our next guy, Mr. Brad Keselowski, and his first Kroger scheme for the season.
Ooh.
Cottonelle scheme. So they still got the whole RFK thing going on.
The RFK swooshes.
Yeah. But I have to say that I like this much better than what Stenhouse was running last season.
That ain't no lie, Texas. I got to meet him at Texas when we went to Texas Motor, because my wife, she, like I said, she wanted to go down there, and we got to meet him at the Cabela's down there with Martin Truex. Bro, he looked like he was just did not want to be there at all. We got his signature and stuff, but yeah, he definitely seemed very spoiled bratish to me. Just my first impressions. Martin Truex, though, he was awesome. He was like happy, smiles. You know, he kind of talked with us a little bit. It was very cool.
Now, for those that aren't watching, they're talking about Austin Dillon, not Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, sorry, I should have specified. If you're just listening, sorry guys. I know this section is probably a little boring because we're just talking about schemes that you can't see. But yeah, so we're Texas asked or said that Austin Dillon's the poster boy for Silver Spoon performance. Yeah, or with no performance. And I agree with him. But his schemes look awesome, and it's hard to contend with that number 3. That's
yeah. But like I mentioned, I like how I feel like it's a better scheme than what Stenhouse was running when he had it.
I agree. It's got a lot more going on. It's like it's got like the toilet paper like texture in the paint,
yeah,
or in the wrap. But I like it. What are you giving it?
I'm gonna. There could have been a little bit more done, but I do like it. I'm gonna throw it at a 3.
I'll agree with your 3. It's nothing major. I do like the fact that they changed up the colors. It's got more going in the blue, so it's not just like a blue and white car. It's kind of a simple design, but it pulls it off well.
Yeah, man, I think it's gonna look cool because this is gonna be his Daytona 500 scheme. So.
Man, I'm just excited to watch cars go really fast, turn left a lot.
Right.
Again, I've been missing it.
we got a bubble scheme up next.
Oh, Bubbles with the Trader scheme. You guys don't know, McDonald's pulled their sponsorship for Chicago.
Yep. They kept it for 2311.
Fair. You know how many Happy Meals I would eat if they just put like 2311 cars in a Happy Meal? I'm just saying. Like, if anybody, from McDonald's ever really hears this, I'm just throwing like little.
You will have my money.
Yeah. You will definitely have my money until I get the entire set. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And then you'll probably still have it because my kids will want to play with it. because they always want to play
Gotta
with my
get
guy cat.
multiple copies, and that way we can do some giveaways too.
I speaking of that, I'm not revealing it yet, but I might have a giveaway.
Oh, might have to come back and stick around to find out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just kick off the season right, who knows?
Yep.
Might have to tune in to our watch party for the 500. Possibly. Just saying. Just saying. But I feel like I've seen this scheme before. I could be thinking I know what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Reddick's scheme when he had it up like where the fries weren't falling, they were just all in a line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3 lug, and it's barely hanging on, honestly.
I feel like they could have made the side of it there look more like the fry box. I think would have made it look a little better. I'm only gonna give it a 2.
Yeah, it barely made a 3 on my book. I honestly. Oh, bro, they brought dollar menu back. My diet would be out the. Hate to tell you that one.
A true dollar menu, yeah. I'd be I'd be screwed on my trying to lose weightness.
Yeah, me too. But let's move on to Zane Smith and his Speedy Cash car. So
nobody likes green. Don't give
just no. That's not what I was gonna say. Just a quick. This is kind of a throwback, honestly.
To who?
To I'm looking at the car. Hang on a minute. Let me go grab it.
It is a nice looking car, though. I'll give you that.
It's what we were talking about. Todd Bodine.
Better than that McDonald's car for sure.
We talked about it last week. It's almost. I would almost call this a throwback. Let's see if it'll. The Tabasco car. Remember I said my favorite one was the green one?
It does kind of give those vibes, yeah.
It is literally almost the same, like, same kind of, like it's even got the green around the numbers. So I'm wondering if that was intentional or
maybe that's where they got their inspiration from.
I can't blame them. I mean, it's a nice looking car. It's definitely getting a 5 lug for me, but.
Well, I'm not going to quite give it a 5. It is a nice looking car. I'm going to keep it at a 4. Because, I mean, it's Speedy Cash. It's not really fancy sponsor or anything. So it's not one that I would want to add to my collection. So I'll keep it at a 4.
It would be nice if they got a Tabasco sponsorship. Yeah, I could see Reddick being like for the 23XI guys. Yeah, Reddick's my favorite. My favorite Reddick. Bubbles. I don't dislike him, but I don't really root for him either. I don't know. I just
ready for this first junior motorsports scheme of the Cup Series.
Talk dirty to me some more, baby.
An Allgaier. Traveler Whiskey.
I love this scheme. So, if you guys don't know, his name was just in my head. The guy
I thought you were having a stroke for a second. You just got quiet.
No, sorry. The guy's he's a really popular artist.
Chris
my
Stapleton.
Lord. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I don't know why. I could get the Chris part, but I couldn't remember the Stapleton. Chris Stapleton. He helped.
We already revealed that Amazon car. What was it, a week or 2 ago?
It was last week.
Kind of missed out on that.
Yeah, it was last week. I think we did talk about going over the schemes before the 500, though.
Oh, yeah.
You'd look forward to seeing the schemes again. But, yeah, I got to watch his interview about this car. He was super, excited about it. Like, him and Dale Jr. sat down about it. I love this scheme. I'm not going to lie. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of bland, but it pulls it off very well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got a good sponsor, like that's like just kind of fits the car, I guess. You know what I mean?
You can't really tell on here, but in the brown areas, there's like little almost lightning bolt style cracks in it that are orange. So,
It to me, it looks like if you've ever had like a leather journal or something.
yeah,
It looks like the leather.
do that.
But yeah, this is one of my favorite cars that's been announced.
What? My
Well,
turn.
technically, it's your turn. It's your turn because I stole your last one, so sorry.
Fine. I'll give it 4 because I do like it. And it's Junior Motorsport, so that automatically gives it an extra.
Yeah, man, I feel bad because I gave the other one a 5-star or a 5 lug, but I want to give this one a 4 because it's not. It's not.
Yeah, you did miss it, but it will be whatever races he races it in. If you catch our scheme scene or just the straight podcast or not podcast paint scheme videos, we usually release those on Thursday morning. And it'll have all the schemes for the upcoming race that weekend coming up. So a couple more. Well, really just maybe another week and a half before we get to do our first episode of that one. Got the Clash coming up.
Yep. Yes, sir. But yeah, I'll stick with 4 lugs on this one. Man, it is a nice car. I'm gonna have to get the diecast though.
Hopefully,
it gives me very big UPS vibes.
Yeah,
kind of.
Hopefully he'll qualify in. Hopefully. You know, I'm a big fan of orange, so it helps out.
Well, so I guess because we talked about it before, but I asked you if like he would qualify in because that new rule change with the like if they're from Xfinity.
So the way that works, and I learned how to say this dude's name properly, Mr. Helio Castroneves, not Helio. The H is apparently silent.
Helio.
They did apply for the the open whatever OEP.
Yeah.
The only way it goes into effect is if he doesn't get in on speed or race in one of the duels. If he misses out on both of those, then it goes into effect and it becomes the 41st car. But
yeah,
if he races in or gets in on time, then he's one of the 4 cars that gets in and it's capped off at 40 still. Kind of sucks.
Yeah. Man, I wish for Daytona they would just race 43 cars. I feel like it would make the racing so much better.
Would be nice.
I also wish they would boost the, instead of, 410 horsepower, I wish they'd give them, 750. Just saying.
But we got another first scheme here. Mr. Cole Custer. HaasTooling.com 41 car. It's a little cut off on the back there because it wasn't a full car picture, but
you get the gist. I like it a lot more than I liked last year's.
Yeah, for sure. And you see the new number font there too, huh?
Yep. It looks good. I'm sure I'll get tired of seeing it because, if Haas Tooling is anything like Stuart Haas, they'll run the same scheme like 3 or 4
over and over and over again. Yeah.
But
what you giving it?
It's a nice scheme. I'll give it 3. Like there's nothing special that jumps out, but it's nice.
I'll keep it at your 3 just because I do. The sad part about it is it kind of gives me like they made this in NASCAR Heat 5 and then translated it over.
Facts.
Cause you got that one paint scheme where you got those stripes like that, and then that one kind of in the middle. But anyways, enough about a video game. We want the new one. Give it to us now.
Yep.
All right. You ready for
not till the fall, homie? Sorry.
Ready for Mr. Ricky Spinhouse? Spin out.
Ricky Spin Out Jr. Let's see it.
Sonny D is returning to his car.
I will say, I do love Sonny D cars. There's something about them. Like, there's stuff going on everywhere you look, and it works. It's like, because Orange is a very bright color. I'm sure you're gonna rate this high because you like.
Orange is beautiful.
And then just Sunny D cars are awesome. Like just to look at. You know what I mean? They're always bright and they're orange and blue all the time. It just looks great. So what you giving this one?
I'm giving this one a 4.
I'll stick with your 4.
I'm down with that. I mean, it's kind of similar to what he ran last season, but he did lose a major sponsor with Kroger.
Yeah, with Kroger going to RFK, he definitely lost some big money. And that and his whole team changed. So
yeah,
I wonder if Kroger leaving kind of persuaded some people to change the team off.
Probably so. But if you also look at it, we had mentioned that they may have rebranded the numbering. But if you look at this scheme, it looks like it's staying the same.
Is it? It looks slightly different to me. Like the 7, it doesn't look as like skewed.
Maybe. I'll have to put the two next to each other at some point.
I wish one of my favorite schemes he ran though was his Irish Spring scheme. Good one.
Yeah. That one was nice. The green. Yeah. Wonder why you like that one.
I don't know.
All right. Coming back for another start, Mr. Martin Truex Jr. in the Tricon Garage, number 56.
This is such a nice car. It definitely screams the 78 though, but in a great way.
Yeah.
Kind
of weird to see that Tricon Garage logo on the front there.
I know. I'm used to seeing like JGR or what was that weird name team that he won the championship with? It was like a weird name.
Shoot. I can't remember it at the moment.
Five Lugs.
I am going to agree with your 5 Lugs. And what I want to say with that 5 Lugs is this should have been his doggone primary scheme last season for Bass Pro Shops. Would have been beautiful.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the team name on it. This is the license plate that I got signed by him when I met him this last year, but I don't see the team on it.
Was it Furniture Row?
That's just his sponsor.
I thought that was the team too.
Oh yeah, it is Furniture Row Racing. Yeah. Yep.
We got one more to go over for Mr. Michael McDowell.
This is my favorite scheme of Michael McDowell's ever. I love these schemes.
Who had Blaster last season?
BJ McLeod.
Okay.
He had it, and they're one of my favorites. I love them. I haven't opened this book in a while.
I do like the fact that they got the product on the side there.
Blaster schemes are awesome.
I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it, but it is still nice looking. I'm kind of leaning in between a 3 and a 4. And just because of that reason, I'm going to bump it down to a 3.
I will agree with your 3. I mean, it's a high 3 for me because I love Blaster schemes. But it is still a 3.
Yeah. That's the last one we got for that.
Yes, sir. We do have some racing going on this weekend, though.
We do indeed.
Got the Rolex 24 qualifying on IMSA TV at 2:05 p.m. on Thursday. And then the Mazda MX-5 Cup race will be on YouTube at 3:55 p.m. And of course, this is Eastern time.
And that's race 1 there. Because race 2 will be on Friday at 10:10 a.m. Also on YouTube. Then at 1:40 p.m. we got the Michelin Pilot Challenge, which will be streamed on Peacock.
Yes, sir. And then Saturday, the Rolex 24 begins. Peacock will show the full race. NBC will start at 1:30 and USA will start at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah. And then Sunday.
Hang on, I've got it loaded up. Give me just a second.
Sorry about the
ready?
background noise.
Sunday!
There we go.
Hang on, baby Jesus, this is gonna get bumpy.
So continuing on Sunday, starting at midnight, obviously, because it ended at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday. So at 12 a.m. on Sunday, it continues on Peacock with the full race coverage. But at noon, you can catch the end of the race on NBC. And I reiterate on NBC for the finale. I don't know why I put it there twice. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, but if you're watching on Peacock, you'll get to see the whole race, which is what I plan on
without
doing.
interruption, other than ads.
Yep.
But
yes, sir. But I think that's all we've got, except for our S Cubed or Slick Scheme Spotlight. We've talked a lot about schemes this episode, so you get to enjoy 2 older ones this time.
yeah, not as old as we've gone in the past, but
No, I think the oldest scheme we've had is what, from the 70, 75?
I think we had a 72 at one point, didn't we? No, our oldest one is 1959.
Oh yeah, because you had the petty
Petty.
car. Yeah, that's right.
And then we got a 70 Richard Petty and the 74 Marty
That's it.
Robbins.
Yep, the 70 was the Superbird. Marty Robbins was the pink and yellow one. That was one of our first ones.
Yep. And then the 78 Lenny Pond. Then we jump into the 80 after that.
Yeah.
In use. Let's jump into our Slick Scheme Spotlight.
All right, guys. As always, our Slick Scheme Spotlight is brought to you by Happy Hour Racing, a place where you can get all of your NASCAR and F1 needs. So, Texas, you were talking about wanting some of our merch up on our walls and stuff. Well, that's the place you can start getting it. They're awesome. I've personally bought stuff off of there. It gets here pretty quick. I like when I first started shopping, I thought it was going to be used stuff, but it is 100% not. My stuff come with NASCAR tags. It showed up within a week. It's awesome. But when you check out, use code RHPD, and you will support the podcast, and it won't cost you anything extra. They just cut a little off the top of what you're already paying, and we get a little bit of that, and helps make the podcast a little bit better. Lets us do some cooler giveaways. Last season, if you weren't around, we gave away, what was it, like 6 autographs and a bunch of like track merch and stuff where we were at Nashville in Texas.
In Talladega.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just because you didn't go doesn't mean I didn't go.
Man, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about Dega. I forgot you went to Dega this last season. But yeah, so we got to give away some stuff like that. We also had a competition giveaway in our NASCAR fantasy. So if you guys are interested in that, jump into the fantasy. Of course, go to like your normal fantasy, look up Race Hail Praisedale podcast. If it doesn't say podcast, not ours. It's also Hail is spelled HALE. Password is RHPD2024 to get into that. So if you want a shot at winning a 1/64th diecast of your choice off the Lionel store, that's our winner for that. Trash Can won that one. And he also took our giveaway, which we will be doing at least one more giveaway this season, because I got a pretty good idea. Who knows? We might be able to do some too. We've got something really cool coming up. I know I'm kind of jumping around, but we got something cool in the works right now. I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to Chris Bell it, I promise. But be on the lookout. I promise I'm not. I'm making sure that I don't say anything that gives it away. But we are looking into doing something really cool, something that I think would be a lot of fun. So be on the lookout for that. Texas likes your transitions.
Yeah, I saw that. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, Voodoo's our whiz when it comes to everything to do with like the transitions and the podcast. I just show up and talk a lot, honestly, if I'm being 100%. But anyway, we can go on and roll into our first scheme, which you have the first one of tonight.
Yep. So technically mine never actually made it into an official race. But Mr. David Gilliland in his number 49 Larry the Cable Guy car. A nice little red, white, and blue. Hey, we appreciate you dropping in, Texas. Definitely love when we got guys coming in here chatting with us.
Oh, yeah. And just for a future reference, we are on every Monday at around this time. So if you want to jump in, we love to have your conversation. Love to hear your thoughts. We also have a bunch of other stuff which we'll cover later on.
We're even here throughout the off season too.
Yep.
Still with an hour-long show. We're actually longer than normal at the moment.
Well, all the schemes that we had to cover because it's getting close to season.
Yeah.
If you remember, our first episode was like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, but it was also our very first episode.
That's fair.
But anyways, nice little red, white, and blue scheme to go along with the patriotic stuff we got going on since it's Inauguration Day. The 49 of Mr. David Gilliland. This was way back in the day in the 2010 Daytona 500.
Look at that car tomorrow, boy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he did not qualify into the race, so this was actually an unraced paint scheme. But it is beautiful.
And we always find connections between our two. So, Texas, if you're watching, we come up with these schemes. We don't talk about them with each other until usually the day of. I mean, so a lot of times we'll have to hurry up and scramble to pick a different driver because we've been known to pick the same driver, and we don't want it to be boring of showing off the same driver. Which luckily this time it wasn't.
And during the season, we got a kind of a scapegoat because one of us will have a classic scheme and the other one will have a scheme from the race the previous weekend. That way it kind of helps keep us away from each other.
Definitely. But during this off season, we've done it like, I don't know how many times where, Voodoo asked me what scheme I want. He's like, oh, well, I was going to pick this one. I guess I'll change it and just run that one next week. So, but the connection here is that we both chose Car of Tomorrow's this week because mine is a 2009 Brickyard 400. I chose Jeff Burton's Private Sec OTC. Number 31 is purple with the blue lightning. I like this. It's one of my favorites. It's just cool looking. I don't know how else to describe it. Of course, you got the Car of Tomorrow wing on the back with the diffusers and stuff. These cars weren't the best cars to watch go around the track, but man, do they make some nice, in my own opinion. They're some of my favorite cars to like collect, unless you find the ones that are missing wings and stuff. The worst.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because good luck finding a replacement wing without buying another die cast to cut the wing off. It's like I have a Dale Jr. amp. No, it's his National Guard car. That it is in great shape, except wing when I bought it. The wing wasn't there when I bought it. Yeah, so I got that one in Tennessee. So awesome! Thank you so much, Texas. We do really appreciate.
That means my subscription graphics not going to be accurate, but that's okay. I'll forgive you.
But yeah, definitely awesome. You're not lying. I'm ready to get back to race 2. We're looking forward to, if you're going to continue to jump in, you might get highlighted for some stuff. I know we had a guy that watched us for a while that he became our VIP, slacked off. So maybe you're our next VIP.
We shall see.
But
We shall see.
anyway, that is my pick for this week. So before we finish up, you got anything you want to add here, sir?
Let me get back to the right scene here. Need to do better at this here. First things first. Just like Texans mentioned, he already subscribed, but now it's your turn. So go ahead and hit that subscription button for us. Show us some love. Help us get more spread out to some more audience.
Yes, sir.
Keep this thing growing.
We have set a goal for next year. We hit our 100 subs goal, which we're still looking for ideas for our 100 sub special on videos for that. Who knows? We might do a giveaway. We might not. Who knows? So be on the lookout for that. If you have any suggestions on any way we can improve this for you guys, or just anything you want to see or hear us cover, be sure to leave comments. We also have X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, TikTok, and you can also join our Discord. You can leave it anywhere you want to. We will gladly respawn and have a good time. We've got like I said, we've got some big things coming up. Don't want to spoil it yet until we get it 100% locked in, but I'm excited for it. It's definitely going to be a small change, at least for a few episodes, I think.
Shall see. We shall see for sure.
We shall see.
Don't forget our merch. Links down in the description below. That helps out the podcast as well. We unfortunately don't have the hats that we're wearing, but we do got some shirts and hoodies and cups and stickers and that kind of stuff. So get you some Race Hail Praise Dale gear. We have our logo. We have Mr. Cucumber Cowboy. We have
Fast Pasta,
Joey Lasagna, Matt D Burrito.
Yeah, we've got a couple more in the works. So
we keep saying that, but we need to just drill down and pick a picture to.
Oh, I know. I know. I've been thinking that too. I was like, man, we say that a lot.
Well, we also took what did we get to, like 90 subscribers before we finally did our 50 subscriber video.
That's fair. Hey, it is what it is.
Hey, we did it. We didn't lie to you. It just took us forever.
Right. Well, the problem with that is like our schedules weren't lining up, because like my daughter would be in cheer, and then like something would happen the next day, and we just like the only time we could really get together is when we did the podcast.
Yeah.
So either that or we were too busy playing COD.
Yeah, we've kind of slacked off of a little bit. So.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you tuned in live, thank you guys so much. If you're watching this afterwards, thank you so much. I hope you all have a great night, day, evening, whatever it is. We look forward to it.
On the Gulf Coast, be careful tomorrow with the Wintergeddon coming.
That goes for you as well, because you're right there in it.
Yeah. We're about to freak out with 8 inches of snow, people.
Man, somebody dropped a cup of ice on the highway and y'all are freaking out.
Yeah, probably so. Probably got the 50-car pileup if you did that.
I can't say much. We just had it last week or so, and people started freaking out. But thank you guys so much. It does mean a lot. Thank you, Texas, for jumping in the chat. Yeah. It means a lot. We love having a conversation. That's what we started the podcast for. Just a couple of fans wanting to talk to other fans about NASCAR. And it looks like you like it just as much as we do. So,
hope to see you around again.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, though, I think that's all we got. So I'll hit the outro this time. We're crossing the finish line of another Race Hail Praise Dale episode. Till next time, may your tracks be clear and your victories many. Good night, race fan.